cross the other team's back line, that scores 1 point for your team. Now the game is generally played to a certain amount of time. Out here on the field, I'm not sure whether we're going to go for a number of points or amount of time. Condors, TK, Tom Kennedy throwing off to the All-Stars. Received by John Cohn for the All-Stars, pass upfield to Jim Herrick. Back to John Cohn. Passes are allowed forward, backward, or any direction on the field. Once you have possession of the disc, you're not allowed to move except for one pivot foot. Charlie Duvall looking for the open man. Moving upfield to Paul Brenner. Paul Brenner from Ithaca, New York, playing for the All-Stars. We haven't had a turnover yet. Looks like they're playing full field. Jim Herrick from New York. This throws a sidearm upfield. There's his Ross Snyder. Ross Snyder down. He puts one up into the end zone. And it's down. Santa Barbara moves it upfield. Santa Barbara once again 78 and 77 world champions in ultimate frisbee. Condors putting a large upside downer to a man leading. Doesn't quite pick it up. Paul Brenner for the All-Stars. Looking for the open man. Finds Jim. Throws a fake to Atlanta's Ross Snyder. Ross is now looking for the open man. We've got a foul call. One of the interesting elements of ultimate is that there's no referee. The players are responsible for adjudicating any disputes that may happen on the field, which is real nice because it keeps the game real personal, keeps all the players involved in running their own game. Santa Barbara's got the disc, crossing the backfield, moving up, looking for that open man in the end zone. The score is still 0-0. There's the open man. Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara Condors, that's team captain Tom Kennedy, director of the Ultimate Players Association here in the United States and around the world, with the pull to the 1981 WFC All-Stars. Paul Brenner from Ithaca, New York, picks up the disc. He runs it to the goal line, which is allowed, and then he's got one pivot foot. He's looking for the open man, finds his friend John Cohn. John Cohn and Paul Brenner just won double disc court for the 1981 titles yesterday at UC Irvine campus. Jim Herrick with the disc to Atlanta's Ross Snyder. Back to Herrick. One Harvey Brandt up in the air, snares the disc and pulls it down, picks up a lot of yards on that one. The open disc, Paul Brenner picks it up. And a high, easy score. Jim Herrick won the All-Star. Here's the pull. Condors racing after that disc. A high, long pull that gives the All-Stars plenty of time to move up into defensive positions. Both teams playing very, very well. Condors in the blue shirts moving upfield, a sidearm into center field, looking for some more yards. Quick outlet pass. There's a high looping sidearm caught by a Condor player, looking for the open man in the end zone. Man-to-man defense by the All-Stars. Forces a pass back. There's another one forward. Still looking for that elusive score. One more for the Condors. They're being very careful, snaking it upfield. 2-1, Condors. Score 2-1 for Santa Barbara. John Cohn with the disc, looking for an open man, throws a fake to his defender. We've got a man-to-man defense going out here. Looks like a tight press. There's a pickup by Pryor Hendricks and a deflection by the defensive man. So Condors pick up the disc at midfield. Condors with the disc. Cross-field pass that shakes up the defense. Paul Brenner playing the man with the disc. Pass toss, looking for that yardage to move upfield. Santa Barbara moving carefully, moving easily, finding lots of open men. Oh, pass a little bit outside. That'll be a turnover. It'll be the All-Stars disc coming in the other direction. A lot of ultimate being played in any one town. All-Stars with the disc. Makes It's an escape to John Cohen. There's a deflection. Santa Barbara's got the disc right near the end zone. Pass in long, undefended, and there's a score, 3-1. Santa Barbara. And then resided with Glassboro, a college in New Jersey, in years 1980 and also in 1981. There's a high floater back to Harvey Brent for the All-Stars. Harvey Brent to Paul Brenner. TK playing defense. Tom Kennedy defending. Upside downer, and it's caught by John Cohen. Beautiful pass on a deflection and knockdown. Santa Barbara's got the disc. TK looking for his open man. WFC All-Stars. I just had mentioned that the World Championships in Ultimate Frisbee, all of those clubs throughout the world, throughout the country, competing against one another right now in sectional and regional events, opting for a bid in the World Championships, which will be held in Austin, Texas on Thanksgiving weekend. Got some friends from Austin here. All-Stars looking for a pass. Right up the sideline, catches Harold Duvall. Okay, we've got a call on the field. One of the players has called a foul. Benefits of that, of course, is that at the end of the game, no one can blame the refs. All-Stars with the disc. Moving upfield to Atlanta's Ross Snyder. Ooh, almost finds an open man. Instead, it's intercepted by Forrest Condors moving upfield. TK, but it's knocked down by an All-Star, Harvey Brent for the All-Stars. Two rapid turnovers there. Harvey Brent for the All-Stars. Looking for the open man, finding Jim Herrick on the sideline. Back to the other side of the field. Hardy picks it up. Places his man, loops one over. Harold Duvall for the All-Stars. The score is 4-2. She's the winner of the distance competition this year. Suzanne getting ready with the pole. All-Stars throwing off to the Santa Barbara Condors. Ooh, Condors turn it over right at their own goal line. Paul Renner picks it up. Catch by Harvey Brant. Puts it over and one of our national players from Japan picks up the disc. That's the All-Stars with the disc throwing off to the Condors. Condors looking eager to eat them up and score another goal. Moving upfield, a diving catch by Condor. Condor connection. Another connection upfield, looking for the score this time. Paul Renner defending. A high, looping sidearm. Is he going to get it? He catches it, pulls it down. Pulling for the WFC All-Stars. Jim Herrick, a classic Ultimate player from the East Coast with the disc. Chico Mackey now holding, finds his connection. It's a drop. Condors have the disc. They're looking to make a quick connection into the center of the field. Jim Herrick defending. Back to Santa Barbara. A push throw back to Condor. Intercepted again. Charlie Duvall with the disc throws to John Greensage of Austin, Texas. Chico Mackey picks up the disc for the All-Stars. Looking for the open man. Finds one dead center. That's Charlie Duvall from the waist. John Cohen drops one. It's a Condor disc. They're looking for open people. One woman headed downfield. She's all alone. Yeah, there's a score. Condor. The most exciting spectator events in the world. That's freestyle. Got it? Let's hear it for the All-Stars. Give them a little cheer to get going. Come on, Jim. Moving upfield. Connection to Paul Brenner. Paul Brenner to Ross Snyder from Atlanta. A high looping sidearm, Jim Herrick up in the air. Picks off the disc, looking for the score. Another looper and score of the All-Stars. 5-3. Condors with the disc. A long one all looking for the score, puts it into a Condor teammate, right over the line, and there's the catch. Yes, Album, yes, the score is 6-3. 6-3. Here we go, All-Stars with the disc, looking to bring that score up 6-4. Atlanta's Ross Snyder with the headband. It's a turnover. This is getting very expensive. You can't turn it like that on the end zone. Another catch by the Santa Barbara man. He throws a couple fakes, puts them off, puts it in. There's the score. Santa Barbara 7. The Blue Condor with the disc. It's up. Now, Ultimate has played with the largest of the Frisbee discs now available. It's called the 165-gram world-class Frisbee disc. You can find it in your sporting goods store. Jim Herrick out there. Located at Tunnel 20. You have a little sticker go to Tunnel 20 where you will receive your gift package. WFC All-Stars pick up the disc. Harvey Brent racing here to the sideline. Harvey Brent with the disc looking for the score. Tight defense by the Condors. Knew what happened. Condors pick up stars. Harold from the Lacey Park Raiders. Tossing off to another All-Star just over the line. Jim Herrick drops it. Condors pick it up. This is becoming a fast game. All alone. Condors down here. High floater almost into the end zone. Doesn't quite milk it enough. Looking for that connection. And throw. WFC All-Stars pick it up. John Greensage drops it to the All-Stars. The Condors getting another chance at that score. There's the throw. No question this time. The score is 8 to Condors with the disc. Here's the pull. It's a weight 165G world-class Frisbee disc available in your sporting goods store. It's the preferred disc for Ultimate. You'll also see most of the freestyle teams this afternoon competing with that disc. It's very stable. It bucks the wind real well. John Cohen puts up a high one to his friend Paul Brenner. He picks it out of the Paul throwing outside down. Here we go. All-Stars with the pull. Score is 8-5. Condors with the disc. Moving upfield. Condors to Michel Pizzoli. Michel picks it up, puts a sidearm there. We had a deflection by a Japanese player on the All-Star team. He picks it up and is looking for a connection to a teammate, finds it in Paul Brenner from Ithaca, New York. Paul looping one back to John Cohn. John has been on several of the World Championship Ultimate teams, including captaining the Cornell team in their year that they went ahead and won the world title. Looking for some help from Japan. Ross Snyder from Atlanta behind. Makes the connection. Chico Maki. Chico Maki finding John Cohen in center field. John looking for that long score. Ross Snyder from Atlanta running back. John with the disc. Santa Barbara playing a tight defense. Looping over. Paul Brenner once again for the All-Stars. The score is 8. This is your last point. Let's see a game. Move it up, Condors. Condors take possession in their last offensive thrust. Make the connection there, putting it over to the side of the field. The back pass, shaking up the WFC All-Star defense. Condors still with the disc. Accurate passing. Another connection to midfield over to the side. All-Stars not sure quite what's hitting them. Looking for some strong defense. Condors moving upfield, finding center field, getting within scoring range. Condors with the disc. They won't throw it away at this point, they throw it away. Ross Snyder picks up the disc. The All-Stars have it right at the end zone. Moving upfield, Harvey Brent down the center. Harvey playing all the way down there. Looking for a hell of a ball. Condors says it. Score. WFC All-Stars. Okay, that was something really special. We got all of the different Condor and WFC All-Star Ultimate players coming out onto the field. And you know what's up next. All of the different Condor and WFC All-Star Ultimate players coming out onto the field. And you know what's up next. Some people down here in the front row barking at me. That's right, it's Canine Freestyle coming up. Of the world champions in Canine Freestyle. Now, there's something real special. You want to come out here? Energy Circle for the Ultimate players. Let's give them a round of applause. Ultimate.
Hi, my name is Tom Kennedy. I'm the director of the Ultimate Players Association, and I'm here with Bang On, and we're going to discuss a little bit this week.
First thing I'd like to ask you, TK, is about the history of Ultimate. How did it start?
Well, it's kind of an interesting story. Ultimate Frisbee started at a high school in Maplewood, New Jersey in 1968. And it was very slow to catch on, but what happened was the students graduating from the high school spread out, went to different colleges and universities, and started up teams. And very slowly, they spread from the East Coast, where it began, to all over the United States. And as the situation has developed, we now have teams, as you well know, all over the world.
So, how many teams do you think there are in America right now?
Well, we have been doing quite a bit of work and research on trying to put together a communication vehicle to tie all those teams in. So I actually do know exactly how many teams. We have about 545 teams in the United States right now.
545, huh?
Now those teams are at different levels. Some are high school teams, most are college teams, and there are also club teams. And the female aspect of Ultimate is growing very rapidly, where we have now probably 40 women's teams also. The game can be played either with just men or just women or co-educational.
As we saw today.
As we saw today. Now, a lot of times, that is the funnest way to play. When you have a very casual, fun game, you have men and women playing together.
Yeah, I can see that. And I think the women that played today played very well. Actually, Michelle Pasoli scored once, didn't she?
I believe she did. Now, when the men and the women play together, they are treated almost as equals, so that the men are only matched against the other men, and the women usually match up against the other women, so it makes for a very equal battle. So you can have men and women, and yet the teams can play very equally against each other.
Do you have, I know there have been some disagreements of having judges or not. What is the present situation? Will you continue without judges?
Well, really, one of the beauties of the whole sport is the fact that it is self-officiated.
Yes.
And I think that it will maintain and continue to be a self-officiated sport. Really and truly, that is one of the most unique parts about the sport, is that the players themselves must take the responsibility for making the calls, for maintaining the integrity of the game. And there is an unwritten and a written version, actually, of the spirit of sportsmanship, which directs, motivates the players to act in a very responsible manner at all times.
Yes, we just saw it work earlier this afternoon, and I think there were no disagreements at all. Just one small incident, as far as I could see.
What happens is when the players are first learning, there's sometimes, until they learn the rules well, there's a potential for some disagreement. But once the players understand and fully learn and comprehend the game and the feeling, the special feeling of the game, and especially at higher levels, there's no problem at all. That when everybody equally understands the responsibility that they must maintain in playing the game, that you have a very unique situation. You do not have win-at-all-cost tactics. There's no taunting of the opposing player. There's nothing done that's going to endanger anybody. And those type of behaviors are not allowed. They're discouraged by everybody. And it's universally understood that you're playing this game for fun, that the most important thing is the camaraderie, is the exercise, is the good feeling that you get when you're playing with your friend.
Yeah, I agree with you. Do you know of the international future for the game? I know that you have arranged world championships in Ultimate, but that has been only for American teams, as far as I know.
For the last 2 years, we have corrected our title to national championship because a couple of years ago, we were a little bit presumptuous in calling the game a world championship, the final game. Now we definitely, because we are well aware that there's Ultimate being actively played in 13, 14 different countries around the world, most definitely we only have a national championship. I look forward to the time, and it probably won't be that far in the future, that we have a legitimate world championship in Ultimate Frisbee. And for me, maybe one of the most exciting things about the whole game is watching the spread from where it's been now to where it will go in the future, which is really amazing and exciting to watch.
Do you have any plans at all to tour, like an American team going over to Europe or Japan, or is there plans for that?
There's a very good plan that the Ultimate Players Association is probably going to take the responsibility for conducting a tour that will have good quality Ultimate players, maybe entire Ultimate teams going over to Europe and doing tours, spreading the word, teaching players how to play, showing people at what level it can be played. So I'm very excited also about the fact that there is already throughout the world a foothold been established by Ultimate, and that,
Well, it's definitely going to Europe now, and I think the level of play has really increased during the last year, and we'll have the European Championships in Italy this fall, and I promise to do a good thing.
Well, there's some other parts of the game that make it really unique. One of them, and probably the most important one, is that the educational institution per se, the schools, have had cutbacks, financial cutbacks, and personnel cutbacks everywhere. That is a universal phenomena. Yeah. And this game lends itself to a very limited budget. You only need one plastic disc to play. You can play without the use of officials, so that entire programs can be implemented with quite a bit of administrative ease, and that the educational institution, not just in the United States, but all over the world, will probably welcome this new game, because not only does it have the positive aspects of being cost-effective and being easily instituted, but it also has the character-building aspect of having the integrity or pressing so that the integrity of the sport is maintained by all the players, that the players are given the opportunity to make good or bad calls, and that part of the game that makes them take the responsibility is maybe the most valuable part of the whole game.
Yeah, I agree with you. Do you have, can you see, look at some into the future, and for instance, do you think that Ultimate could in the future be accepted in the Olympics?
Oh, I most definitely see. I see Ultimate Frisbee taking over football's spot in America. Football, you get hurt, costs a lot of money, it's a very slow sport. It's just not, it's losing ground in America, that they are looking for something fresh, something new, something exciting.
Do you get any television coverage at all now, or do you have...
We have had only limited spots, and I think today's game was maybe the most widespread broadcast game that the Ultimate Frisbee players have ever had. So I'm very excited for the future of the sport. I think that it is inevitable that it will establish itself as a mainstay among the sports in the world today. It may be 5 years, maybe 3 years, maybe 10 years, but it will do it because it has so many qualities.
Do you think there will be any separation from the other, like the field events? Scott's distance? Or,
Most definitely. The Ultimate Players Association, which came into effect only